3, 2, 1, reveal.
Fuck! If you got the same stat line as Patrick Mahomes, something is clicking in big games.
Somewhere.
Because I'm looking at this list too. The top 10 goes as follows. Okay.
Damn. It's only one of them that have a Super Bowl.
It's only one guy that has a Super Bowl, and there's a lot of guys on here that doesn't have a lot of playoff success.
Yeah.
So if you're going to sit up here and judge Dak Prescott on playoff success, and I'm looking at a list of guys that don't even have no playoff experience or not even a playoff win.
Come on.
Come on. I would prefer Dak Prescott over Kirk Cousins. I prefer Dak over Kyler Murray. I prefer Dak over Jalen Hurts. Justin Herbert, Dak. Trevor Lawrence, I'm taking Dak.
Dak, yeah.
So it ain't that what I think Dak to be. It's what the market dictates Dak to be. And Dak is better than half of the guys on this list.
Yeah.
See, this is the stuff I'm talking about right here, bro. Cowboys fans have to be so meticulous as it pertains to finding sports outlets that are going to give you genuine and authentic takes as it pertains to the players on our team and the team as a whole. Cam Newton was getting tons of pats on the back going into the weekend this past weekend as he was giving Dak Prescott some kudos. He gave Dak Prescott some credit. He said all the nice things that you just heard him say about Dak Prescott in the clip preceding this video, but what people didn't hear was the dude that he decided he would, in fact, take over Dak Prescott, and y'all just listen.
I would prefer, Deshaun. I prefer Deshaun over Dak.
Now, let me point out how disingenuous Cam Newton is. That clip I just showed y'all where he said he would take Deshaun over Dak, that snippet was a part of the original clip that I just showed y'all at the beginning of this video. They edited it out on his official platform and put it out in a way that made it look like he was only saying something positive about Dak, whereas along the way, he actually said he would take Deshaun Watson over Dak. What are we doing here? It is 2024, and we're still having Deshaun Watson over Dak Prescott conversations. We're still acting like Deshaun Watson is as good of a choice at quarterback as a Dak Prescott is. Now, I'm not acting like Deshaun Watson is a scrub, but what I am saying is that man has essentially had his powers wiped clean like the Space Jam monsters ever since he got taken in for being a serial meat beater. But Deshaun Watson is not on Dak Prescott's level in 2024. He wasn't on his level in 2023. And in fact, the only time it's been a debate was before Dak Prescott actually established himself by breaking his ankle and receiving his superpowers. Because prior to that, you could probably make a debate that Deshaun Watson was a better QB than Dak Prescott. But since then, it's been a wash. In fact, I have the numbers since 2020. And you can see here that Mr. Willy Wonka must have been high off of his own supply. He may have had too many nerds or too many sour candy ropes because, what the hell are you talking about? How can you possibly look at these numbers and say that Deshaun Watson, you would take him over a Dak Prescott, especially after the season that Dak Prescott just had in 2023? Literally, the numbers since 2020 are strongly leaning in Dak Prescott's favor. You can see he has the advantage on every statistic, whether it be completion percentage, passing yards. Granted, Deshaun Watson has played a lot less games than Dak due to his off-the-field issues, which that still counts, man. Cam, you want a serial meat beater on your team instead of the fortress, the scene god, Rain Dakota Prescott? What's wrong with you, Willy Wonka? But even if he did play the same amount of games, you can clearly see here Dak even has him beating passing yards per game as well. Dak is averaging 273 passing yards per game. Deshaun Watson had about 250. Passing touchdowns, Dak has doubled it. This is since 2020, by the way. Obviously, Deshaun Watson's played less football. He's thrown less interceptions. I'll give him that one. And Dak actually slightly has a better quarterback rating. This is why I said Deshaun Watson isn't necessarily a scrub. Even with the terrible year that he had last season or the mid-year that he had last season, he's not a scrub, but by no means should anybody be fixing their mouths to say that Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback today than Dak Prescott. This whole dialogue around DP4 has just gotten completely out of pocket. It seems like every year there's at least a handful of quarterbacks that people are willing to push up ahead of Dak Prescott prematurely. This year it's the Jordan Loves and the apparently Deshaun Watson and the CJ Strouds and these other guys that have 1 year under their belt and no real credibility to say that they should be ranked higher than a Dak Prescott. Chill out, Texans fans. I know CJ Stroud played amazing this year, but guess what? His rookie season was about on par or a little bit less than that of Dak Prescott's rookie season. So he still is in the back seat as it pertains to who's driving the bus right now. Dak Prescott is undoubtedly a top 5 quarterback, and any debate outside of that is just not worth having at this point, bro. And this is why I say we gotta be very, very careful with how excited we get and how thankful we become when an outlet seems to say anything nice about the Cowboys. I understand we're used to people finding reasons to criticize us. We're used to the lack of appreciation that we get as Cowboys fans, and it's okay. It's okay. We're America's team. We understand everybody wants to be like us. They don't like the fact that we're called America's team. So I get it. I get the hate. But bruh, y'all gotta slow down on giving so much credit to dudes just because they say something nice, especially when in the same breath they said something ridiculous as well. You see, Cam has done a masterful job of trying to build his audience up and grow his influence on social media. And what we saw him do there was the same thing, except this time he's trying to make Cowboys fans feel like that they're welcome on his channel. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to do a much better job as a fan base of recognizing when people are trying to base us up, butter us up, and put us in the oven for Thanksgiving dinner, or when they're actually being legitimate in their analysis of these sports. Because this couldn't have been genuine. I'm not even going to take the rest of what he said as a compliment, because the man said he would take Deshaun Watson over Dak. So now I have to ask the question, just how badly do you look at the rest of those dudes you were talking about for you to give Dak Prescott credit over them? Or did you just give Dak Prescott credit over them because you want Cowboys fans to feel like your channel, your platform, is a safe place for them to come and visit? You see, I see this all too often. All these platforms that aren't even dedicated Cowboys platforms will go out of their way to shoehorn the Cowboys into a conversation on their channel. Why? Because the Cowboys are the hottest ticket as it pertains to talking NFL sports, and you're more than likely going to get the most amount of views than you would normally by talking about the Cowboys. The problem with this is our fans fall for it every time. Why do we continuously give people this ethos, give people this level of credibility just because they say something nice about our team without even seeking out full context to see that, in fact, he was still being a hater, man. He was still being a hater. Bro, instead of being fooled and taking the cheese by all these channels like Cam Newton's channel, bro, go support the Law Nations. Go support the Cowboys Fan Talks. Go support the DMV Fanatics. Go support the Boss Cowboy Sports. Support actual Cowboys platforms. Because at this point, bro, this is almost laughable. Cam Newton just last season was trying to tear down Dak Prescott to lift himself up in the public eyes. Now, all of a sudden, Dak is better than all these other guys that you would have never said that about last season. We didn't hear pretty much anything positive come out your mouth about Dak Prescott last season during the hype of the season. Why? Because you knew that negativity about Dak Prescott would sell at the time that you were selling it. And I'm sorry, y'all. I am done giving any business to these pop-up shops coming out here with these outrageous takes, trying to get Cowboys fans' attention. Stop giving them your attention. Give your attention to platforms that actually deserve it. Give your attention to these dedicated Cowboys platforms that's providing you with any kind of content you could possibly want, whether it be film study, analysis, debates, whatever. You can find all that stuff within the Cowboys ecosystem. Let's lift up our own folks instead of giving our attention to Willy Wonka and the rest of these clowns on the internet, man. But either way, I just wanted to bring this to Cowboys fans because we gotta be very, very careful and meticulous about what we decide to push as a fan base, bro. I'm sorry, I can't support or push anything that Cam Newton got to say because I know how he really feels, bro. He showed his true colors last season when he was being salty because he didn't have a job, but he felt like a bunch of other dudes in the league had jobs. I'm sorry, Cam is getting no love from me, and there's no way I'm ever going to lift him up as a platform that speaks the truth on the Cowboys and Dak Prescott, because I just don't think that's the case, and I'm not taking any of the compliments that he gave Dak Prescott. I'm not taking none of them to the bank, man. I don't feel good about none of them. None of them tickled my eardrums or none of that, bro. Cam, take you and your top hat and kick rocks, bro. That's all I got to say. We stink the same old Cowboys.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.